Imagine being separated from your loved ones for days, months, or even years. Being away from who you love for years on end, all because of nothing more than a political border. For more than 2.5 decades, that was the case in war-torn Germany. It was 1945. The Nazis had recently surrendered to the Allies, the US, Great Britain, France, and the Soviet Union, and former Germany is split up into 4 sections between the countries. The United States, Great Britain, and France all got control over West Germany and West Berlin. Meanwhile, the Soviet Union got control over East Germany and East Berlin. Germany was separated like this because the United States, Great Britain, and France were all capitalist countries, but the Soviet Union was a communist country. By 1949, more than 2.5 million people have left East Germany and East Berlin for the West. With communist leaders getting angry, on August 13, 1961, the borders between the two superpowers were lined with barbed wire fencing. The communist leaders stated it was to protect our citizens from capitalism. Later, that barbed wire fencing is replaced with stone and cement. The Berlin Wall is born. There are thousands of escape attempts, but almost all are shot dead. In 1985, Mikhail Gorbachev takes power in the Soviet Union. He starts democratic reform and the Cold War begins to, quote, thaw. In 1987, Ronald Reagan gave a famous speech addressing the Berlin Wall. He said, "Open this gate and tear down this wall." In 1989, the Hungarian government opened its border with Austria. Many East Germans used this route to escape communism. Finally, at midnight on November 9, 1989, the leaders in East Germany give permission to open the gates. Millions of people cram through the gates and even climb over the 13-foot wall to get to freedom. Some took little bits and pieces and even chunks off the wall before the whole thing was destroyed by heavy equipment.
It's a very hard life, but I think the energy to do this is the result about the knowledge of freedom and unfreedom. I know freedom disappeared. The most in the West aren't able to understand this. For then, it's freedom, like it is normal. I love this. But if you never even think about unfreedom and loss of freedom, you will never get the taste, the wonderful taste of freedom. All right.
The fall of the Berlin Wall was a very significant part in the disintegration of the Soviet Union. The communist USSR did still exist. Germany would still be separated, and Berlin would still be divided into 4 sectors. And for the US, we would still be locked in a deadly arms race with the Soviet Union that would ultimately end up eliminating both countries and all of mankind from the face of the earth. But luckily, Germany is one united country, and Berlin is one whole city. So the Berlin Wall, that wall that trapped people in a place where there's no freedom of speech, no freedom of the press, or any freedom at all, is gone.